Let's go. Remember that? Casey Jr.?
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming, sorry.
Oh.
They were ideal for protecting us from the hot summers and cold winters here at Calico. Perfect for the independent types who like to fend for themselves. Of course, many miners stayed in boarding houses, mainly for modern conveniences, like home cooking.
I got my nickname Hard Rock, because that was exactly the kind of mining we did around here. The rock is so hard, we didn't have any water to use for mining, so we actually had to blast away at the rock.
During the good years, Calico's 10 square mile mining district boasted a population of nearly 2,000, with almost 1,000 actually living on the town side of Calico. After the mining ended, Calico really was a ghost town. That's to say, it was mainly abandoned. But it was restored and reconstructed by the Mott family in the 1950s. Back then, they had workers who actually lived here. These folks served roles of care for the town.
This is an example of what they call monument. We use them on all four corners of our claims to alert everyone that they may be trespassing and to remind claim drivers to stay away. Remember how the first traces of silver were discovered right on the ground in the spring of 1881. Now, those silver ledgers have been made from all over, including well-known towns such as Virginia City, Bowie, and Tombstone, Arizona.
I certainly do, Hard Rock. I had silver fever too. Coming up on the ride was one of the original gold carts we might have used. We'd push these out of the mine and stockpile our ore until we got a train of gold. Then we shipped to a processing mill on a narrow gauge train similar to the one you ride in Alabama. That particular train was from the Waterloo Mine Company Railroad, and the spoilers were mounted with it and probably Calico's Wall Street Railroad. The closer a railroad could be run to the mines, the better.
This large area to the left of the train was where some of the miners lived. There is still one surviving wall out there. It's outlined in white. Beyond the mountain, to the northeast, was East Calico, where among others, the big Bismarck mine was. There was a little community out there with a store and a saloon. The Stacy brothers carried mail a mile and a half between Bismarck and Calico, even training their dog Horsey to work for them.
I remember that. They strapped a saddlebag right on his back so he could carry the mail and packages.
As we pause here, take a look at the top of King Mountain, where your engineer is now pointing. Look at the last letter in Calico and run your eyes down about 300 feet and a little to the right, and you should see a mine entrance in the side of the mountain. This is a tunnel to the Silver King Mine, one of the richest and largest mines in the Calico mining district. It produced about $10 million in silver in about 11 years. There were about 30 miles of tunnels on 14 different levels inside that mountain, belonging to several different mines. However, the only mine that is open daily for guests to safely go into themselves is the Maggie Mine. Just below the Silver King, there appears to be just an ordinary pile of rocks. Actually, that is remnants of the Silver King Mine itself. Not long ago, that pile of rocks was assayed to contain a few million in silver. But before you jump out of the train and climb the hill to fill your pockets, I should tell you that it would take millions more just to process that silver. So that would put you in the hole. Go back to playing the lottery.
Now, take it moving. Look out to the left. It wasn't too far from there as a man was calling himself shot, trying to steal my money. I learned more than the sister told me. Well, trespassing on my little mine. He ignored me and showed up at the end. River. In those early years, drinking water from Calico had to be brought over from the river from better flow grounds at the time, and sold for about 20 cents a gallon. That water supply also gave birth to our neighboring town of Calico, and the railroad was built right through there. See, just like the smaller narrow gauge locomotives, the big trains of those days ran off of steam from the water-filled boilers.
Another one of our neighboring towns was Boyle. It may no longer be visible, but when the boom ended here, some miners got jobs over there as borax miners from the Pacific Coast Borax Company. Railroad to Rio Canyon, making for a more efficient operation for the company. It became the last place in California where the trains and one-minute times were every day.
Now, if you all look over at Main Street, you can see the same thing we did. We ventured into town out of lives of relaxation. There were actually smaller buildings on Main Street that have been standing since the 1880s, when it was a bustling place.
Calico was a real town for around 20 years. We had a post office, school, a courtroom, newspapers, and a slew of stores. Not to mention that a few saloons had been crashing down. Luckily, we even had doctors, lawyers, and a justice of the peace.
My favorite place was the town hall. We had dances and all kinds of entertainment.
Homes for band, yeah. As we get closer to the train depot, take us down to the gardens to the left of the train. These ruins are from the Chinatown, where almost 40 Chinese lived and worked at Calico during the New Year. Amy did laundry for miners and operated a couple of restaurants. Well, folks, we hope you had fun and maybe you learned a few things on our tour today. Please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop.
Be sure to grab all you can hear, like purses, hats, glasses, and those little miners, too. Please come back and join us again. We love having you.
Yes, we do. Don't forget to always keep hold of